Hello everyone, this is SC2 Noob School. I'm Trebus. Today is Friday, so it's Diamond Friday in Protoss, Bronze to Diamond week. So finally we're in Diamond League, and Diamond League I feel like is where it's like kind of a transformative league where players have a pretty good understanding of the game. They have a pretty good understanding of macro, pretty good understanding of strategies, pretty good micro, and it's just a place where whoever makes the least mistakes is going to win. Obviously, all players make mistakes at all levels, but Diamond is where probably the players know what the right thing is to do, but they're making mistakes. So we're going to see some of those today. We're going to be watching. I picked this replay, first of all, because I didn't have a lot of Diamond Protoss replays. I actually had two, so this was the best one. So Terran players out there, if you're a Diamond Terran, send me your Diamond Terran replays because I don't have any of those yet. So we're going to be looking at another 4-gate game, and this time we're going to be watching from Dashua's perspective. This is the one getting 4-gated, and we're going to see in this game a lot of, if you watched the video from Thursday, you're going to see some of the things that I was talking about being performed here. The chrono boosting of the Stalkers, and then pushing out on the map, denying pylons, and all that good stuff. And you're going to see roughly how it's supposed to work. Dashua, he makes some errors in execution, but the general idea is correct. So you're going to see a bit how it can work, and particularly in this game we're going to see how proper micro can just absolutely win you a game. Even when you have all the odds stacked against you, Dashua is going to be doing a 3-gate robotics build. One of the certainly standard Protoss vs. Protoss builds, and he's going to be able to defend off 4 gates versus 3 gates just with proper micro and some serious errors on Alacrius's side. So here we can see we're scouting the opponent's base. We're seeing all the telltale signs of a 4-gate, the chrono boost building up on the Nexus, the no second gas, the chrono boosting of, on the cybernetics core. Everything is just looking like a 4-gate. So what are we going to be doing in our base? Getting the second gas at a pretty reasonable time and chrono boosting out the Stalkers. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. And the Stalkers are going to have to be really active to try to deny any kind of proxy pylon. Now you can see there's already a pylon going down here, and we're going to see the first mistake from our Protoss hero, Dashua. So here, still everything is obviously looking like a 4-gate. The Stalker comes out, we can peek in. We can peek in and see more chrono boost on the cybernetics core. So almost certainly this is going to be a 4-gate, and so we continue to chrono boost out Stalkers. Now, here's the first thing that is a bit of an error. You know, if your Stalker is coming out first, then you have no fear of going out on the map. We used chrono boost on our Stalker, so we should just be poking around with the Stalker everywhere we can. I'd start close to the base, and then probably here would be the second place I would go. Grab the watchtower, maybe check for a proxy pylon here. Just keep that Stalker really active. We know we're going to have a Stalker advantage pretty much until the 4 gateways are up, so, you know, just keep with it. So here we go, keeping on chrono boosting out the Stalkers. I think the second gateway was a little late. There should be another... something's not right about this. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Also, after this third Stalker, you can see we got 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. I would start getting sentries after that. We've got the gas for it. We've got to build up of 230 something gas. So I would start going ahead and getting the sentries. You can see we've got the 3rd warp gate coming up, and we've got the Stalkers pushed out on the map. Now it's nice, it's good to be able to push out on this map because usually there will be a Zealot and a Stalker coming with the 4-gate. So it's nice to be like at their base so you can out micro the Zealot and Stalker. But in this case it actually should have been more important to deny the proxy pylon. To go find it and just deny it, because that really hampers the Protoss player. So we see Alacrius, yeah, trying to put down his proxy pylon, but it's not going to work. Let's see, where are we on the gateway timing? Let's see, his warp gates are just now coming up, so he's going to have his 4 gateways up soon. And see how far mine is behind? Or ours is behind? Not very far behind at all. So here's where we're going to get to see the power of the micro and some poor decision making on Alacrius's part. First of all, something he does on purpose is he pulls probes off of the assimilator. I think that's a really bad decision. You can see he's totally hurting for gas right now, and he's basically just going to be able to warp in zealots. Well, zealots versus stalkers, like if you have a mix of zealots versus stalkers versus pure stalkers, the stalkers are going to win every time, properly microed, because they can just, basically your goal will be target down all the stalkers, and then you can kite the zealots forever. So that's what we're going to see here, and that's the kind of micro that I want you to have in mind, specifically for 4-gate. It's all about the stalker battles. So here we go, a little bit of weirdness. I don't think they saw each other there. No, they didn't. And so the stalkers and the zealots are all mixed up, trying to micro properly. Here's the point where you have to take out the stalkers. As soon as you take out the stalkers, you win. So 1 stalker down, 2nd stalker. We should be target firing that stalker down, and when he's gone, look at that, free zealots to kill. They literally can't do anything. So at this point, the 4-gate has essentially been stopped. I mean, we've got 3 gateways up, we've got a robotics facility that's coming up. He's got 4 warp gates, but he doesn't even, I think Dash was about to go get this proxy pylon. So yeah, he's going to get the proxy pylon, and then Alacrius is pretty stuck. So what's he doing? He's going to double up on his all-in. He's going to add on 2 more gateways, his last assimilator, and just go for broke, go for uber all-in. And really the only reason he had to add on these gateways and the assimilators is because of the 2 pylons getting denied here, a pylon getting denied here, his initial warp-in just being completely crushed, and he wasn't able to warp in units for a little while. So back at home, you can see Dashwa is adding on a Nexus, which I think that's a good choice. Getting the Observer just to see what's going on in his opponent's base, and then adding Twilight Council. This Twilight Council actually could have been quite a bit earlier. I think the robotics facility and the Twilight Council were a little bit late each. You want to get this Twilight Council as quickly as possible, because as you can see, we're getting a lot of stalkers, and with a robotics and then a Twilight Council, you can do the whole get an observer around here, and then if they ever try to push out, just blink into their base, and you can keep them in their base forever. So having this Twilight Council be a little bit late is going to hurt a bit. And it's okay, well, let me just show this real quick. So Dashwa pokes into the base, sees up, that's maybe too many units. That was probably actually killable, but without a proxy pylon to warp in, which is about to be placed right here, that would have been a hard fight. So here's the general idea with this expansion and with the blink. You can see the blink is being upgraded now. The idea is you can protect this expansion by blinking into your opponent's base. He's only got gateways, and so he's got no other weird tech coming. If he had stayed on gas, it might have been possible to do some kind of, like, I don't know, weird DT thing or something. I don't know. But in general, if we had gotten this blink earlier, we could totally prevent him from ever leaving his base. But as you can see, what's going to happen here, it's going to be not quite possible to do that. So Alacrius is warping in tons of zealots, and you can see we've got a nice observer out, so we can see exactly what's going on here. This probe's just going to chill. He's like, hey, I'm watching my pylon go down, it's fine. Okay, here's another mistake by Dashwa. We saw these units coming out, and then he's pulling back into his base. And I think that's a mistake. Because with stalkers and with blink stalkers, which you can see are being chrono boosted out, you can just run around the map constantly. And if you've got a stalker advantage, you can, which we clearly do, you can just pick off his stalkers and kite those zealots all day long. So you really want to be out in the map with this, because you can just run around this big open space constantly and Alacrius will really never be able to do anything. But if you're kind of holed up in your own base, then there's not many like retreat paths. You might start taking out a warp gate or something. It's possible. So I would certainly have that on mind, especially when Blink is done. Absolutely get out on the map. Don't Blink is not useful for you inside of your base. I mean, it's kind of useful, but it's a lot more useful if you're out on the map. And you can see the huge stalker advantage Dashua has. He should, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stalkers versus 20 stalkers. Yeah. So here's the goal, is to target down all those stalkers. Blink is done, so you see some cute little Blink micro. That was a failed Blink right there. I didn't really like that Blink micro, and obviously this is the mistakes we're talking about here. If Dash would have been able to pull those stalkers just back and back and back and keep all these zealots from being in the fight, that would have been maybe worth it, but you know, mistakes. So here the goal is to once again take out the stalkers when you can. If you can't take out stalkers, just take out zealots slowly, and continue to retreat and use Blink to your advantage. And this is going to be the kind of amazing part. You see this? This is 3 warp gates versus 6 warp gates. The probe count is 25 for Alacrius, 34 for Dashua. So he has a better probe count. He should be adding on gateways now, if not a little while ago, if possible, and really stay on top of the warp ins. That's just the most important thing right now. If you're down on gateways, you got to be so solid on your warp ins. So you can see times like right now, no warp ins happening. That's a severe loss. So the choice to go into this corner, I don't think that's a good choice either. Although you can Blink, and actually, that's cute. That's cute. The zealots are the zealots are coming, and then you just Blink right behind the army. That's super cute. So cute. And like I said, keep targeting down the stalkers and get those warp-ins going. Warp-ins are so important. No excuse not to be adding in warp gates right now, because we should be getting dominated right now. Dashua should be losing this battle if Micro were equal. But you can see poor target firing on Alacrius' part. Dashua's doing a pretty good job of target firing. You can kind of tell whether they're doing a good job target firing, whether units are kind of scattered at low health, or if there's single units with a lot of health taken from them. So the stalker numbers are close. Really should be adding on warp gates. Up here the warp gates go. Or 2 more gateways coming up. Those are certainly late. You can see the money's starting to build up. But all of this is still going to be, this is still a winnable game based solely on the Micro. Just watch the target firing here, and well, that wasn't good target firing. And just understand how important it is to take out those stalkers. The stalkers are going to be the ones doing damage. If the zealots are doing damage, you should just be running away. Target firing the sentry, I'd prefer to take out the stalkers over the sentry. The sentry's not going to do much of anything with Blink available, and he warps in 3 sentries right there. That's another mistake. Those sentries are just not going to be useful at all. You can see Dashua's making pure stalker, nothing but stalker, which I think is fine, but again, the lack of warp gate is absolutely killing him. Some nice micro here. As you can see, you just run away from the zealots, pick off the stalkers, maybe taking a couple shots from the zealots, but finally all 5 of our warp gates are up. So now we're finally on equal warp gates, and we have more money. So the game has essentially been won without any serious micro errors. We've got the expansion, he's got less units, and there's the game. So I thought that was an interesting game to look at, particularly if you watch Platinum Thursday and then Diamond today. You can see how in Thursday I talk theoretically about how to prevent this, prevent losing to 4-gate, and then in today's game you see in action how to prevent that 4-gate. albeit with some additional errors by Alacrius, our other Protoss player. So thank you, Dasho, for the replay. Thank you all for watching Bronze to Diamond Week. Of course, I'm going to be doing Terran Bronze to Diamond eventually. I can't promise this next week, but it certainly will be coming out. So keep sending me your replays. I need Diamond League Terran replays. I think I have Platinum. But in general, I get more of the lower leagues than the higher leagues. So if you're kind of in the Platinum Diamondish area, definitely send me your replay, and you'll have a pretty good shot of getting it cast. Thank you for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for Terran Week. GG!